I'm talking about Titans. You know, new one. The one on HBO MAX. The one that the second season just dropped a little bit ago. We just got to see. It's the same characters, guys, but it's live action. Come on. We're not doing a cartoon review today. Maybe anime tomorrow or something. I've got shows to watch, but not today. We watched Titans. Alright, I got to admit, I didn't know what to think going into it. I had heard some of the thing going around. I didn't get into it until just a few days ago. So it's not something that I've been watching and following along with. I'm fairly new to watching the series, but I had heard a lot of stuff about it through YouTube, through Google, through other sources, you know, just being on different social media. You run across spoilers, you run across things of people complaining about this or that. Obviously with this show, the major complaint has been the fact that every Tamaranian character has in fact been black when their skin is supposed to be orange. But guys, come on, let's just give up. It's a comic book movie. Anytime we have an adaptation, I talked about this, I know I talked about this, anytime you have an adaptation, you're going to have some creative license taken. When people take that creative license, they change things, and sometimes we don't like it. But guys, don't look at it so myopic. Take a broader view of it. Look at it as an homage. Look at it as a passion piece by somebody who likes the source material and is doing a very good job with sticking to the basic characteristics of the source material while taking their own liberties. I've said this before with other movies that I've talked about, not just on this channel, but on my other channel, Transcended by Ozzy. I have talked about how adaptations can go wonderful and how they can go horribly awry. And I have talked about some adaptations that I personally loved, even though they are reviled by other people, simply because they take the source material to heart. I'm looking at you, Resident Evil series. You know who you are, Mila Jovovich. But I love that series. I watched all those movies and I loved them. Yeah, it ain't the game, but the basics are there. Take your time. So anyways, the Titans is the same kind of deal. People were up at arms over differing things. I don't remember everything because, to be honest, to me it wasn't that important. I wanted to watch the show because I know who the characters were. Color of their skin doesn't matter to me. In certain instances, there are some shows or movies where I do kind of want, you know, certain ethnicities portrayed as the ethnicity they're supposed to be within the confines of the book or the comic book or something like that. But in the instance where you're trying to make this very Zack Snyder-esque, very gritty, very dirty, very hard version of the Teen Titans, not that very crappy one that you guys saw first that you thought I was going to review, and if you guys thought that, I don't know what you're doing on this channel. Because that is just utter dreck. That's my review of it. Utter dreck. Let's get back to what's going on here. So, it's a very gritty version. It's a very adult version of the Teen Titans. They even dropped the teen to let you know that. They're telling you right there in the title, this is not a kid's show. And when you watch it, you'll understand why. And you will love what goes on. But at the same time, seeing some of your favorite characters do some of the things they do within the confines of this particular show can be a little bit tense to watch for a while. I like what they did. They made it very very much something that could fit into the Snyderverse. It could, with some adaptation, fit into the Arrowverse. Those adaptations would have to be taking out swearing, things like that. But other than that, I could see it being something within the confines of the Arrowverse, the Snyderverse, something like that. It is very dark. It is very bleak. Even the Batman that is in it is portrayed in a bleak manner. So when you get characters that you're used to, like Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson, and you get a Bruce Wayne that seems kind of standoffish and very well, I guess bleak is the right word. He's not the Bruce Wayne that we're used to. If you watched, like something along the lines of even the old TV series for Batman, Bruce Wayne is very doting with Robin and everything, with Dick Grayson. It's a totally different thing. And Dick Grayson is shown as very troubled. Not just because of what happened with his past from his parents dying, but everything with growing up with Bruce, with having this overbearing, larger-than-life person to live up to, not just on the surface, but also that underneath, that Batman that the rest of the world didn't know that Bruce Wayne was that. But Dick knew, and Dick had to deal with both of them, and he had to deal with himself being Robin as well. So he's very troubled by that, but also things that he's done, and the path that he's going down, the path that he finds himself on. So it's a very different turn for the character than we're used to if you watched the original Teen Titans, if you watched, a lot of the other stuff growing up. It's very dark, very bleak. But if you're a comic book fan, you'll also see that it does fit very much in the Dark Knight type universe of how Bruce is in there. So it does have its roots in comic book. It might not have its roots in things that we've seen on TV in the past, which I think is where a lot of people seem to go astray. They think that what they're going to see is exactly like those cartoons and stuff because they've seen that before, but this is more like the comics. You need to be ready for that. It's gritty, it's down, it's dirty. Our Garfield at this point has only been able to turn into a tiger. Beast Boy can only turn into a tiger. Okay. This tiger's still green, his hair is green, it all comes from being saved from when he was in the Doom Patrol by the Professor, or by the Chief, by the Chief, and okay, it fits. Gar is Gar. Gar's a vegetarian. It all works, except when he turns into a tiger and eats somebody. Okay, we get to watch a tiger snack on a guy, and then that tiger turns back into Garfield with gore all over him. So we get to see the face of a vegan with blood all over him from eating a person. Very jarring. Our Raven is known as Rachel. Her skin isn't gray. Her hair's got blue highlights and stuff, and kind of blue, but her skin ain't gray. She's a pale girl. She hasn't fully come into her powers. We're still trying to figure out what's going on. As of the end of season 1, or about halfway through season 1 or so, she did get her jewel in her head and became more the Raven that we're used to in the comics and on the shows. But she still has that, kind of not quite Raven yet demeanor. She doesn't know her powers or anything like that. I don't know if she's ever going to get to that goth, very monotone, kind of just trying to keep her emotions in check, or if she's going to stay in this universe, that kind of emotional girl who is not in full control of her powers because her emotions get out of hand. I don't know if we're going to see that change come in, but it'll be an interesting part of the character development for Raven to see if that happens. Also, we have Starfire now. Like I said when we first started this, Starfire is definitely a character who has been in the comics and on television portrayed in one way, and in this particular one portrayed differently. Now, like I said, I don't mind that they chose a person of color to play Starfire and chose not to give her an orange face and body and chose just to keep a person of color as the character. And at this point, as far as we have seen, the 3 Camaranian characters that we have come across have all been persons of color. They've all been black people. Is this what the universe is going, what that universe has? Is Tamaran do they just happen to look like the black people on Earth? Is that what the thing is? That's fine if it is. The people are getting upset because they want the orange Starfire, but this is still our Starfire. Again, she's grittier. She's killed people. She uses her blast to kill people. This isn't that one that we watched on TV. This isn't the cartoon Teen Titans. We don't have Cyborg in here. I would like to see him. I really would. I think he'd be a good addition. We do have 2 characters that we actually saw in the Young Justice animated series. Donna Troy, Wonder Girl, and also we have Superboy, Connor Kent, the Cadmus clone of Superman. So Donna is Dick's friend. She was part of the Titans before with Hawk and Dove, who are also, Don and Dawn. They're a couple. And they don't have powers. They just go out and they fight, and they have their fancy suits. They're kind of like another version of Batman and Robin and stuff like that. They are very different than what I was used to from the comic and everything as well. They're very dark. Don has a substance abuse issue, and it plays a part in what's going on. He was abused as a boy, and that has affected him throughout his adulthood, and it's you can see why he does what he does. Anyone who had the upbringing that he went through would find it very hard not to try to get justice for people, especially people who are being beaten down and trod upon. I can definitely see his motivation. Dawn, hers hasn't really come forward. She seems to be more doing it for Don, for Hawk. So I really need to delve into that character a little bit more on here, because it hasn't really given me a satisfactory answer to why she became Dove. It just seemed like the right place, right time type of thing, or wrong place, right time, or however. It depends. Watch the show, you'll find out. So we have them. Connor has the anger issues. He has Crypto with him. It's really cool to see the Superdog, Crypto the Superdog, on live action. He's doing his own thing. He's kind of beating up cops and stuff like that. He's not sure of what's going on. He's very new to the world, being a clone and all that. He's not fully matured. He's half Superman, half Lex Luthor. He doesn't know what's going on. He was kind of teased at the end of season 1, but didn't really come on to the show until now, season 2. Donna as I said, has been Dick's friend for years. She's Wonder Woman's niece. There's not a lot that has been said about her. Just, we see her background of how she was with Dick, how close they were. We understand the whole thing of why she's kind of walked away from the life. Aqualad, who had been part of the team, had been killed by Deathstroke, and that kind of caused the team to fracture. That's why they shut everything down the first time around, and now Dick is trying to restart it. And there's a lot of secrets. There's a lot of stuff being hidden by Dick because he thinks that he is protecting the rest of the team. But as we come into this second season, and as we start getting further into it, we find out that nothing he's doing is really protecting the team. It's causing more problems. Now, Tim Drake has come in as the new Robin, and our Robin, Dick Grayson, is no longer Robin. He's just Dick Grayson. We have nothing for him. Now, anybody who is a fan of the comics, or even the animated things too, will know that Dick Grayson moves from the Robin mantle to the Nightwing mantle. He becomes the hero known as Nightwing. That's coming. I know it's going to come within this season. His story arc is working toward it, and kind of a spoiler, I looked a little bit ahead to see the name, how many episodes it was, and I saw the name of one of the episodes, so I know what's going to happen. He's going to become Nightwing by the end of the season. That may be that last minute reveal in the season 2 finale. Now, this has purportedly been taken on for a season 3. We will be getting a season 3 of Titans on HBO MAX. So it does look like we will get a furtherance of the story to see what goes on. But it does look like Dick's story arc will go from being the Robin, being that ward of Bruce, being the sidekick to Batman, to becoming his own hero. It looks as though Tim Drake is going to stay in the Robin mantle, but he's going to stay with the team because his character is very messed up as well. And he had been taken hostage by Deathstroke and almost killed, which has caused the team to fracture once again. What Dick has been hiding all along is that after Deathstroke killed Aqualad, the Titans had gotten to know and found out about Slade Wilson, Deathstroke's son, Jericho. And they started meeting with him and spending time with him and hanging out with him as friends. He didn't know who they were. At one point they decide to tell them who they are. And Jericho accepts them for who they are and hangs with them, wants to join them and all that, because he has powers as well from being Deathstroke's son. Now, Deathstroke got his powers through a medical experiment, kind of a super soldiery type serum thingy, the DC version anyways. So, his kids have inherited this, his son and his daughter. So what we find out is that this son, Jericho, Dick and the team were trying to convince to help them bring his father to justice for killing their friend. And his father finds out about this and then wants to confront the Titans, specifically Dick. So him and Jericho are supposed to meet, Dick and Jericho are supposed to meet at a church. When he gets there, Wilson is there too. Slade, Deathstroke, is there as well. And a fight ensues, and in the process of trying to save Dick's life, Jericho jumps between his father and Dick and gets run through with a sword and killed. Now obviously this is Deathstroke's fault, because if he hadn't been attacking Dick, his son would never have jumped in the way. But it's also Dick's fault, because if Dick hadn't attempted to turn him against his father, it never would have happened. There's culpability everywhere in here, with the exception of maybe Jericho. Jericho was just looking to live his life. He didn't know what and who his father was, and he just thought that Dick and the team were friends. He was completely without culpability here, I believe. But stuff happens sometimes, and he tried to be the best person he could be and ended up getting killed for it by his own father. Well, Deathstroke has held that grudge, and now he's out to hurt Dick and the team, especially Dick. The way he feels Dick hurt him. So he takes him and attempts to kill him, and that's where we finally get Connor coming into the story, because Connor jumps up the building and saves Tim from falling. And that's where the fracture starts, because Dick is then forced to tell everyone what happened, why Deathstroke is still after them. And when he does, the team breaks. Again, he's left alone. He goes to Deathstroke. Actually, to Deathstroke's wife. He wants to talk to her to let her know what happened. To let her know that not only did her son die partly because of him, but also because of her husband and who he is and what he is. And he's pretty much summarily sent packing. And he runs into Deathstroke on the way out. Deathstroke tells him that he can never have the team back until he pays the price for what he did to him and his family. And Dick ends up going to jail. And I still have to watch like the rest of it, and I don't want to spoil everything from that point on, because things really get good there. But if you look at it up to that point, the character arcs are all coming together. Now Bruce has called the rest of the team together surreptitiously and tried to get them to go back after Dick, and right now it's mixed results of who wants to help and who doesn't. Most don't, but there's one or two that do. So we have to see what's going to happen with that. Obviously I know, but I'm not going to tell you. But it's a good place to leave off for letting you guys know what's going on in the series, and to give you a teaser into it and maybe get you to want to wet your whistle and watch more of it. It is a good series. The thing that people have to remember with any of these live adaptations of anything, you have to understand that sometimes there's going to be liberties taken artistically by these directors, these producers, everybody. Yes, as comic book fans, we are enamored with the characters that we either A, grew up with, or grew to love later on in life in some way, shape, or form. We see these characters in the book on a monthly basis. We read these stories. If you're like me, at my peak, I was collecting 10 or 12 comics, 10 or 12 different titles, all at once, and sometimes some of my favorite characters would splash between 4 or 5, sometimes more books. So sometimes you're inundated with this character and their character traits and who they are, what they look like. You're so used to what they wear and how they look in the comic, how their skin tone is, how this is, how that is. Then when we get these things that are non-animated, when it has to be either practical makeup effects or a choice to say, no, not this time around, we're just going to take a character and say, all right, this is who they are, and we're going to use a white person, a black person, a person of Indian descent, whatever it is. They're going to use someone, and sometimes they don't fit the role. I know with Marvel, a lot of people had a lot of problems with Tilda Swinton being used instead of an Asian actor or actress as the Ancient One. But she did a good job, you have to admit. She did a good job. This girl that is playing Coriander, or not the spice coriander, but Coriander, the character, Starfire, she's doing a good job. She's playing the character as it is written. She's showing us some of the traits of the Starfire that we love, but she's much darker than we're used to. She's not the one that we watched on any of those movies before, any of those shows before, I should say. So don't expect that coming into it. But enjoy what we do have. Have fun with it. I know you guys are going to enjoy the rest of this season. And if you're anything like me, you'll be looking forward to more seasons coming. I have fallen in love with the Arrowverse. I watch pretty much everything. When Marvel had their stuff, I watched everything. I'm a watcher. That's what I do. I love to watch movies and TV shows. You give me something to watch, and I want to talk about it. This channel gives me that opportunity. So guys, I want you to do me a favor. Go down to the bottom. Find that thumbs up like button. It should be right over under where my thumb is. Just down below that. Click on it. Let me know that you're liking my content. Let me know that you're having fun on my channel. Over here somewhere, like maybe here, down further. That's where the subscribe button should be. If it's red, that means you're not subscribed to my channel. Why not? You should be. Other people are. They like my stuff. You like my stuff too. You should subscribe. So, click on it. If you are already a subscriber, thank you guys for coming back. I really do appreciate it. And if you did both of those things, find that little bell down there. It's right close to that subscribe icon. It's kind of a little bit over. Actually, no. A little bit over that way further. Not too much, just right next to it. Click on that. Go ahead, you can do it. Choose all, because you're going to want to get notified anytime I upload new content. And guys, other than that, I think it's time for me to head out for this. I've got a couple other videos to shoot. I'm trying to shoot a bunch of content right now. I'm home alone. I'm bored. I'm not tired yet. I should eat something now. Maybe I'll eat before I shoot my next video. Throw something on the TV. But you guys don't need to know that. I'll talk to you guys later. Ozzy out. Bye.